something you'd said earlier I wanted to circle back to is you were working in for a book publisher doing book design. You're actively learning every aspect of publishing, I assume, while you're there. And yet you still feel that it's necessary to go and get an MFA in illustration, which I love, but I'm curious, what does an MFA program offer that you can't learn while you're right there in the field getting your hands dirty?
Great question. So as a graphic designer, graphic designers, some are illustrators, but many are not. Really, their expertise is putting, designing text and layouts and bringing together different things and designing it as a layout. So you're not necessarily an illustrator. And to illustrate and like to draw and illustrate is a whole different not like expertise and ability. Now I did have a lot of background in drawing and painting, so I knew I could draw, but I never really learned how to draw for kids. Like I used to do a lot of like fine art, like painting, oil painting. It's something that you can definitely like teach yourself. And I was drawing for kids, but I kind of felt that I wanted to take my work to the next level. And I knew that the field of illustrating for children's book is extremely competitive, which it is. And that in order for me to really get into the field, and I also was interested in other illustration too. So I also illustrate, for editorial work or ad campaigns. So I do other kinds of illustrations as well. So I felt that in order to really step up my game, I would benefit from an MFA. I think I always wanted to do an MFA, and so an MFA in illustration was the perfect fit for me. By no means do I think that everyone needs to do it. I know that it's also like a very big financial commitment. I took a loan. I'm still paying it back. But for me, it was so worth it because it just sort of really helped me, first of all, embody being an illustrator. I think before that, it was very scary for me to say I'm an artist, I'm an illustrator, that sort of title, and sort of to become it. Like the MFA is a 2-year program where all you do is like live, breathe, eat illustration. Like all day you're thinking about it, you're working things out, you're meeting other illustrators who are doing the same thing. You have some, guidance from professors, you're working on projects, and you're able to sort of put other commitments aside. And so for me, that was like an invaluable experience, like that kind of saying, like doing that mental mind shift of like, now I'm an illustrator. This is what I do, and really learn it. And so, and just being introduced into that field, which I really didn't know anything about professionally. So yes, I knew some of the publishing side, but again, I wasn't the illustrator at the publisher. I saw how they worked with illustrators, but I was just like, how can I be on that other side of things? And just because you work at a publisher, like, doesn't mean you'll be published yourself, right? Like many editors and publishers are not actually published creators themselves, right? So they are the bookmakers, so to speak. Yeah, so for me, the MFA really helped me enter the field as a professional.